In this section we're talking about the steepness of a line, which we call slope. And when we use slope in this section, we are using the letter M. Now, on the screen you see examples of positive slopes. That one is rising. A negative slope is falling. A zero slope is a horizontal line, and an undefined slope is a vertical line. The slope of the line through 2 points is given by the formula that you see on the screen. I'm going to write it in red so it's a little bit more clear. You do have to know this formula for your exam. So it's y2 minus y1. Let me fix that error there. Let me try it one more time. Let me make the pen work, sorry. Now then, let's try this one more time. So it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember that the y's must go on top and the x's must go in the bottom. Whatever ordered pair you start with on the top, you start with on the bottom as well. For this first problem, I ask you to find the slope. So your formula for slope, of course, is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you have these 2 points. Well, this first point here is x. This first letter is x, and this one's y, and this one's x, and this one's y. And if it comes from the first ordered pair, I put a little 1 there. And if it comes from the second ordered pair, I put a little 2 there. So that'll label where the points are originating. So your y2 is actually negative 13 minus, because minus is what's in the formula, y1 is negative 1. x2 is 2 minus x1 is negative 6. Now if I clean up these double negatives, they look like this. So on the top, negative 13 plus 1 is a negative 12, and on the bottom, 2 plus 6 is 8. Now, slope is a relationship between rise and run, so I want to keep it as a fraction. I do want it reduced, but make sure you keep it as a fraction. So if I reduce by 4, I get a negative 3 on the top and a 2 on the bottom, and that is my slope. The next thing you run across is the point-slope equation. I call it the point-slope formula. So the point-slope formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You're going to use the point-slope formula anytime you see the equation of the line. So when I see equation of the line in this problem, I'm going to find a point, and I'm going to find a slope, and I'm going to plug it into the point-slope formula. Now let's write it correctly. Now, I can't use the point-slope formula if I don't have a point and a slope. So every time I do one of these, my first order of business will be fill in the blank for point and slope. So this one has a point, it's 10, 4. And it also has a slope that's negative 2 over 5. So this negative 2 over 5 is my m, 10 is my x1, and 4 is my y1. So plugging this in, I would get y minus 4 equals negative 2/5 times x minus 10. Now every time I give you one of these, I'm going to ask you to solve for y. So in this green equation, I want to simplify it with y equals on the left side. So I have y minus 4 here. Over here I have to distribute. So I get a negative 2/5 x, and I get plus 4. You'll say, oh, wait a minute, where on earth did the 4 come from? Okay, so what you have there, let's do some scratch work at the top, is negative 2/5 times negative 10. So if you multiply that out, 2 negatives make a positive. 2 times 10 on the top is 20 on the top and 5 on the bottom. So that's where I got that 4. Now remember, I want you to work this one by getting y by itself. So now I can move this 4 over here, and y would equal negative 2/5 x plus 8. And that's how it would look. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, you'll notice that this particular problem starts with find the equation of the line. I can stop there for a moment. Anytime I ask you find the equation of the line, that's your point slope formula. Okay, so that's how I'm going to start. Find the equation of the line passing through these 2 points, then solve for y. Okay, so I have 2 points. You'll say, well, which one do you pick? Either one, it does not matter. I'm going to pick the first one, but it does not matter which point you pick. You'll say, well, what's the slope? We don't have one. That means we have to find one. So find the slope. We can't use the point slope formula without the slope, so let's find the slope. Your slope formula we talked about just a little bit ago. This is x1 and y1, and this is x2 and y2. So you'd have 7 minus 3. And again, this first minus here came because that was what the formula said. 7 minus 3, and negative 3 minus 2. So on the top, 7 and 2 negatives would make a positive. 7 plus 3 is 10, and on the bottom we get a negative 5. Simplifying that, my slope is negative 2. That's my m. So plugging my point and my slope into this formula, this blue formula, I get y minus y, which is negative 3, and my slope times x minus x. So this would be y plus 3 equals negative 2x plus 4. So y would equal negative 2x plus 1. And that's how that one would look.